Kamara, I think
It's
you
only
want to
good
go out
to
with
get
each other.
the
Dude.
edges off.
I was
Tomorrow, at least I know
told
at least one.
shoot how you train how you shoot.
Oh my god, he
and
said it like
never
he was something I was supposed to be
show
impressed
the gun to anybody
like,
unless you
Oh, by the way, about
intend
these,
to use
yes,
it. So
it's
like,
so
It's
if
like,
I remember correctly, we're gonna
glasses?
fly
I
F-18s
don't, like-
on Friday.
Yeah, so you select
Yeah.
That's
Apparently,
correct.
I suppose I'm thankful that the consequences.
I know that though. I know.
I hate
dire.
F-18s,
just
man.
for
Vincent,
Yeah.
if you go to the med tent, he'll the flashy thing. If
Oh,
you've got
well.
The flight AMRAM slingers.
it. Yeah, it's just up yonder over there.
But yeah, but that's the
Ram
thing, you know,
spam.
it's
That's what we would do.
either the F-16 or the F-4. Be a
Yeah.
man. Fly the F-4 or the F-14. Be a man, not the F-18. Weak sperm aircraft.
Weak sperm air.
It's the most aesthetically pleasing aircraft.
I mean, no. Yes, maybe it's nice.
Where do you want them?
Not as cool as the F-14 and the F-4.
Over here?
Yeah, but just because you think those are cooler, you don't need to hate on F-18.
Oh, what? It has a
Yes.
computer built into it. Oh, I'm not
But
interested.
the flying is the flying is two computers, says the guy that flies the A320 all the time. Oh wait, never mind. I love fly-by-wire. It's great.
Fly-by-wire is nice.
Hendo's just like, oh mate, I can't fly that. I've got my calculator out already. Not allowed to fly anything with a computer. Fucking
No,
loser.
I'm looking forward to flying the F-18, but I haven't done a carrier landing, so it will be, inshallah, it will.
Don't worry. I don't know how to do that either properly.
I only know how to do carrier landings with a Harrier, but all with an F-18, so it will be.
It's the same thing, man.
No, it's not.
What? It's the same thing.
I can do
The
the
end goal
conversion
is
of
the
a
same.
F-18 into a submarine.
Who?
I could get an F-18 to turn into a submarine.
Nice. Join on
Yeah.
Friday. You will be a valuable asset.
What's going on Friday?
ECS mission. Right?
To practice flying again.
I won't make it.
Hendo.
I'm going.
And I haven't flown with me.
Hendo, check
VR
your
headset yet.
check your Discord.
Okay. 1 second. Where's my Discord gone?
Right.
Kamara, I don't have any alcohol at home, but for some reason I'm craving Baileys.
Do you have
Oh
aviators?
yeah, you can't.
Why is my screen
What?
flashing as if
What?
I'm dying of
Aviators.
I can't hear you.
Oh, Do I have
you
any?
want something?
Yeah.
Maris.
No, I got my own stuff here. Do you want
Doesn't
something?
look like it.
No, thanks. I'm fine. I have to go to military base
No.
tomorrow. No, thanks.
Okay, I guess it's only for fixed wing.
A single shade below.
Yeah, most probably.
Four volunteers.
You gotta be cool like
Spray those
Hendo
right
to
there.
get
Over there.
get cool glasses.
Oh yeah, that's my my
That's
Alphonse
one volunteer.
glasses.
Need 3 more.
Rocket Man.
2, 3, 1 more. There we go.
What about
I
them?
mean,
Too many.
under the invasion from
Let's get-
Slovaks.
Anyway.
Honestly, there are more Slovakians than Czechs in here.
Fuck Slovaks.
I was thinking.
Hey, I
Did you
despise
do it,
Slovaks.
Williams,
Slovaks.
please?
Czechs are better. I don't know. I've only been to the Czech Republic twice, but I don't know anything of Slovaks. I will spit on them.
Ready to
Hell,
go.
Hell yeah, is this flashing screen supposed to be a thing?
Yes.
So what are we doing?
It means
Hell
you're
yeah,
special.
baby.
Perkele.
I'll fix it.
Flashing screens, we all spawn in with migraines. Did you get the flashing screen away?
Yeah, no, I still have the migraine.
Yeah, you gotta run into the tent.
No, fuck it. I'm gonna have a migraine.
Okay. First down.
I'm a man. I don't have migraines. I die immediately. Oh, actually,
No,
that's actually an excellent idea.
Hey, wait.
Why is there...
That's faster than running.
Well, bless you.
Did you get it to go away?
I'm
Yes.
kinda
Just respawn.
fascinated by the
Hey, do I need to do
weapon
some,
model, but
something else
I'm
to IC?
I'm wondering why is there like a
I don't know.
green
this one?
rubber band
We'll
or
go get a
something?
radio just in case.
What happened to Nordic? Oh, you're here.
Is
Oh yeah,
that
you
like a
fucking
head
get a
dive?
radio
for
from
I
your
wanted that
girlfriend or
black
something?
thingy go away, so I just respawned.
Okay, I'm gonna steal your
I
gun.
don't understand, man. Please.
Or
The
you
the
could have
the,
just gone to the
the
medical
green
tent.
thingy on the
No,
floor.
that sounds like an effort
Like
that I
a
couldn't
head dive?
be bothered to do.
It's a wire.
You know.
Yo,
Wait,
It's a
wait, you
wire?
can pick up a dead body? What?
Yes.
Since when?
Since when can
Since new update, you can no longer use the drag carry menu to figure out if he's dead or
Oh,
not.
bollocks.
Oh no.
that's
Oh no.
terrible, man. That's fucking crazy.
My immersion. I mean,
So
wait.
that guy's
And it has several
That's too
different codes.
immersive
If you
now.
look at the
you're
stats,
able to pick up
you
dead
should see that
bodies
there
now,
are
so
there
you
should
can
be two
Yeah, yeah.
sets. There's
decide
only
whether
one.
they're
There
Now
should be
I'm
two.
gonna
You
grab
see
into the kitchen,
half
so
the stock,
don't look.
You'll see that there's
Devon, drop
Yes.
him.
Oh,
I need his
remember to
video.
share.
for the pins
Oh,
when it's in
okay.
transport.
Thank you.
Well,
Jeez,
that's
I need to
bad.
do that thing in real life. Despite being like in Czechia and
Well,
like,
that means
being
I need to
really
double
quite
tap everyone
bad
now.
at Level 50.
Yeah,
I'm always
exactly.
Even
gonna
friendlies.
struggle.
Just, how can we tell he's
I
dead
have,
now?
I have.
Well, you need to go into the medical menu and look for
Yeah.
So you
Non-immersive
see
way to do
breathing.
severe cyanosis
It looks goofy though. I'm not
Alright,
gonna lie.
one on me, Harry
and
Bone up.
no
guys.
pulse.
Looks badass as hell.
And also he has no name on top of his head.
Well, but that's not gonna work on the enemy then.
But this one,
So you need to
Yes.
check for synergies, either blood pressure.
Enemies, so you have two ways. You can be like European and put a zip ties, or you can be in less European and give him a bullet to the head. And then
what they're gonna pick.
okay.
it's
Also
Maybe-
remember, guys, remember, you need to check for pulse somewhere there where there's no tourniquet,
I have a lot of hours.
because then everyone would be dead.
All in a Black Hawk helicopter.
I've got another way of checking if he's dead or not. If you can take the dog tag, then he's dead.
wait. You can check dog tags in medical menu, but maybe
Yeah,
with
but
Ace.
you can't take them though, unless he's dead.
Where are they in the body?
Around the neck.
Oh,
Typically where
fucking
dog tags
is around the neck, but like, how can you pick them up?
With the Ace.
Ace is there.
Correct.
And we need to take the dog tags of our allies to bring back the dog tag to the family or something, right?
Who is this? Oh, Nordic.
The dog tag option does not show up. You're,
You need to look at the neck.
unless they're dead, yeah.
I cannot
Yeah.
remember where that is though. Pretty
Is it
sure
breathing?
it's somewhere near the drops.
What do you think?
Well, I'm trying to figure out what the hell's going on here.
Mr. Nugent's here.
Science.
That's all of us now.
Stop.
Sure.
Yeah, that worked.
We're not in
also,
Vietnam anymore,
this
Paris.
area
Yeah, true.
should be doable.
And of course we got a teabag.
Well, that's my body. I can do whatever I want with it. That's my body. Also, there's a drone above us, almost above
Williams,
us.
can you give me a body bag?
I can. I think I can, but I've
Let's
got
tap
to do
my right
something else
shoulder.
out first.
Oh yeah.
It's tempting, isn't it?
As Morris always looked
What the
like
fuck is
Fred.
that?
A drone.
Fucking damn.
On it now, William.
What the fuck?
You know?
There's a drone.
Yeah, it's a drone
Got
carrying
the
a...
Amazon drones back, dude. Yeah.
Well, that's how we were getting resupply last mission, so...
Can you shoot them things down?
Yes, go ahead and try.
Herman,
Try it.
try it.
Piss off Williams, go on.
Herman,
Just go
you ain't gonna
pew.
hit it anyway, so you can try it.
Don't
What are you saying?
don't use the 40 mic, Mike. You might miss.
What are they doing with Nordic's body?
Science.
Och det är fredagskväll.
Just the regular amount. It's just large compared to the body. Oh, that's ooh.
Jesus. Oh god.
Oh, Jesus Christ. That's...
That's not some
That's
music
not how
correct.
physics
hell?
work.
Close by.
I'll record this and put it out on Reddit /aliens. I might get some
That is not how physics
Sky squid is above us.
No, it's quite simple. The box is actually carrying the drone, and
Yeah, I'm gonna put this into the trailer as well. This is
Again, that's not how
peak
physics
16
work.
AA.
Oh god.
Damn, how far is my view distance? Oh, it's nothing.
You just detonate.
Alright, mate.
Oh, I feel like shit.
Oh dear.
Right, one platoon, can we get herringbone up? Just so we can
Wandering Herringbone.
count
Oh,
how many we
Rockbone,
have
sorry.
in each section and get organized.
Yes,
In
sir.
between.
Wandering Herringbone.
Where's your point, man?
Oh, yep.
Why is Pointman?
No one ever asks how is Pointman.
Usually, because he's usually dead.
No,
Nygren,
because
you
he's
are
usually
5 bots, correct?
point alive. Correct.
2 section 5 bots as well?
Correct.
And who is that in the rear? Etchberger, which section are you with?
1-3.
Are you that? Okay, so you're 5 as well?
I have one more coming.
Okay. Just to make it simple then, I think we should do 1 section, station 1, 2 sections, station 2, 3 section, station 3. And
Yes, boss.
just hold on for a bit, because we'll make sure that instructors are on board. So Nickel, are you ready to get started?
Yes.
Alright, so you have Zeus powers. Probably
Yes.
best if you just teleport them over there.
Right.
To station 2. And Silbert, you also have Zeus, right? You'll handle it for now?
Yeah, I guess there's.
Right, so it's 3 section for you, Silbert.
Right.
And 1 section, if you want to just move a bit to your right so we can teleport easier. 1 section, move. Okay, and before we teleport anyone, so there was just to prepare you how we're gonna do it. Some ICs wanted to lead the training themselves, and some wanted for ITC to assist. So that's up to your IC basically. So on each station, you just chat with the ITC instructor if you want to take charge as ICs, or you want to let the ITC instructor take charge, then go ahead and do that. All right? We should all have the same kind of agenda anyway, so it should be good. I'm gonna teleport 1 section now.
Hey, don't yawn, that's contagious.
Sorry. My bad. Unicorn camera. Unicorn.
I have unicorn. Oh, sorry, my bad.
Section while we wait. Radio check by the numbers.
1 okay.
2 okay.
3 okay.
5 okay.
All okay, and we managed to count to 5. I'm so proud of you guys.
Yeah, I'm not gonna try that. Too many bots in the
Section radio check in alphabetical order.
Okay.
This isn't working, so 2 section if you make your way over to the fire maneuver range.
Yeah, no.
See, okay.
Will do.
And okay.
I'm okay.
Yeah, we suck at alphabetical order.
I was gonna say, Don, you're supposed to be next.
We fucked that so
After Kamara.
Charlie.
Well, that's why I didn't want it to do. I knew it's gonna end up early.
God.
I know my squad.
Do you though?
Yes, I know not to expect too much. I expect out of you as much as I expect out of me, so I'm gonna have another drink now.
That was peak.
I
Actually,
think that's the problem. You're drinking and doing a complicated shit. We're gonna be fucked.
I'm gonna go get a drink as well. I need it for
Oh
tonight.
God! Wait, alcohol or like water?
That's not a
Please tell
drink.
me it's water.
Huh?
That's not a drink.
Wait, do you want a line as well?
What?
Like I said, I have to go to military base tomorrow, so no, I don't.
Oh, yeah.
What? A line? What the fuck?
Kamara and Monis are taking lines, each of the dicks, each of the girls. They really share everything.
Oh yeah, nah, chilling. Gang. I got myself a mojito cocktail here.
Hello, Lawrence.
Hello, how you doing?
Good. How about you, mate?
Not bad. I was wondering if Mr. Dunn was occupied or whether I can nick him. For a bit.
I can catch up if needs be.
You see that? He's gone in a flash. Look at that.
Here.
What, dickhead? I
Bang.
swear to God, no fucking look.
And
Fuck
the
you, man. Don't come back, man.
This guy has access to 500-pound bombs. You guys
Whatever,
can get
dude. You're dead to me, man. I fucking
Alright,
bomb you.
do you guys want him back at any time, or?
No, not really.
You can have him. 152
You can have him.
If you need me, just get me on the Wi-Fi.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Fuck you.
I got teleported anyway.
Well, Silbot was the one leading you,
Yeah,
so.
Monis, if you're still interested in J-Type, fucking done.
Still come and get you anyway.
Yeah, I don't know if I want it. Let's see. Maybe at some point.
God damn it. Hold on.
Perfect timing.
Before he teleports everyone back, anyway. Bye, Dan.
Wait, so who the fuck are we supposed to be training with?
Silbot.
Oh, okay.
Mr. Major Silbot, man, the big man.
Gotcha.
Daddy, Godfather.
Okay, calm down now.
You'd be watching too much Generation Kill, mate.
Yeah. Nah, Silbot, he's the almighty.
He's the GOAT. Hi, GOAT.
Are we all only going to be 4 people?
Well, that's one section.
Well, thing is, Dunn kind of got kidnapped. Yeah, I guess so.
We got one guy who's coming in late as well.
Alright, gotcha. Well, I'll be relatively brief prefacing what we're doing here. So it's going to be hasty attack. One of the biggest issues that we have in field at the moment is basically conversion times from identifying something and getting on the move and closing in with the enemy. So that's going to be the main goal here. I'll be completely honest. It's about 2 minutes of me talking and then about 7 minutes of actions. And that's pretty much the go of it. One thing that I've left out, which you can read up on both in the wiki and all the supporting documentation, is all the preparation heading into this. In my opinion and my experience, a hasty attack is not something that you're going to be preparing at a base and go out and do, and that's a deliberate attack. So for what we do when we encounter something in field, that is what I consider a hasty attack, and it will be prefaced by QBOs rather than any formal planning. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yep.
There's a few different methods of doing it. I'm not gonna tell you exactly how you should be doing it. My preferred method is the SEO, so situation, execution, order. That is the absolute quickest way, in my book, to give a set of QBOs pertaining to an objective of section size. So for the situation part, it's effectively just letting people know, what are we supposed to do? What are we going to do? Execution is how we're going to do it. And then orders is setting things in motion. So I'm just going to throw the question out there. The scenario is as follows. We're moving out into the woods to the west. We encounter an enemy position. We are ahead of them. They've not detected us. We've detected them. What would be an appropriate method to set ourselves up for a successful hasty attack?
First of all, still communicate about the situation. Scout the position. If possible, one section flank or half of higher group flank. Second, start suppressing fire when needed.
Fucking beautiful, Nordic. I know you were through this part in the CBC at some point. That is effectively what we want to do. We want to halt our movement. We want to maintain our advantage in the situation of being of being on the upper hand. We know where they are; they don't know where we are. First thing we want to do is establish a base of fire. Once we have a good base of fire set up, not engaging at this point, we then want to determine how we're going to do this. We can either assault through using our methods for fire and maneuver, or we can utilize a flanking maneuver, left or right, and that's pretty much British standard for most things. If you encounter something, set up base of fire, flank left or right. Pretty simple, very predictable doctrine, but at the end of the day, it keeps it very simple on section level for the section commander to make effective decisions in a short amount of time. So there's only 4 of us now, but effectively what we would do, go firm, set up a baseline, base of fire. We utilize one of the fire teams for that. Normally, at least in my book and the way that I normally do this, is that you always carry the heavy support weapons on your Delta fire team. That way, if you need fire support and you set up a base of fire, you utilize Delta for that, and you utilize Charlie as the advancing element. There's another benefit to this, which is that the section commander will always commit to the orders that are given, and that way you'll always have the section commander leading by example and being one to be in the riskiest position, if that makes sense. I know that there's a very British thing where, as a commander, you're super important and you can't be spared, so you can never risk your life. As you already know, because you've seen what I do in field, I don't really give a shit. If I'm going to make informed decisions, I want to be where the action is. Otherwise, I'm making decisions about people's lives where I'm not present. So that's my mantra and how I view it. So in theory then, if you look at your maps, we're just going to draw this up real quick. So if you find Station 3, I'm going to be drawing in the ocean. The most basic thing that everybody needs to know is one letter of the alphabet. And that is the L, Lima. Very simple. We have our base of fire, which is here. And then we have our attack, our flank. In this case, it's going to be a left flanking maneuver. And then we're going to assault through, and we're going to do that from left to right. What is a prerequisite for us to be able to effectively do this?
That we have a superior fire, or we have them sort of ducking or not actively firing on the flanking side or towards the flanking element.
Absolutely. The flanking element here wants to achieve the element of surprise. In order to do that, we need local fire superiority, which we will achieve with Delta Fire Team. And it's up to the section commander to initiate when we're going to start suppressing. But you will see a problem here that as we are advancing, we're going to be advancing into the arc of Delta. So one thing we want to do is we want to set up arcs of fire that we can shift fire as we progress through. We can either do this over radio. If we don't have radio, we can mark this either by using smoke or flares or anything along those lines. I've not seen that be very successful on section level. The best case is that we are able to see the advancing fire team. However, we want to make sure that we can continue to provide support by fire ahead of the advancing fire team throughout this maneuver. In order to do that, we need to identify some terrain features that are obvious on the location to ensure that it's very obvious where we're supposed to be shifting fire, and be mindful of the fact that if you have a full fire team, so you have 4 to 5 people in a fire team, you will be looking at different things because you're going to be spread out and you're going to have at least 3 to 5 meters between you. So they need to be visible from everyone's position, and you need to be able to shift fire effectively, making sure that everybody sees each reference point to be doing so. You can obviously do this in a much simpler way. If you have a clear target, let's say you have a building or you have a static emplacement or something like that, it's going to be a lot easier because you can use that as reference. So you can shift fire to the right of the target. That way you don't have to spend time trying to micromanage how you're going to control, exercise fire control. All right, once we've assaulted through, then we want to either secure the objective if we wish to hold it, or we're going to move off the objective. And either way we do this, it's going to land us in the regroup and reorg phase. So once we've concluded our hasty attack, we're going to regroup, reorg. Section commander is going to send their report, and the Section 2 IC is going to do the AMCAS. That is generally how it's set up in our wiki for how we want to do it. All right, any questions on the general concept of setting up a base of fire, giving an SEO, and then getting one fire team to perform a flanking maneuver? All right, fantastic stuff. It shouldn't be news to anyone, but this is obviously something you can just continue to practice and practice and practice, especially important on section commander level and Section 2 IC. Because once you get that flow going, when you give your SEOs and when you set up your support by fire, you get your arcs of fire and your shift of fire. Once that is drilled in, this is a very, very simple thing to set up. Very simple to do. All right, now I'm getting text messages over C-Tab.
Wasn't me.
You gotta detach the crate by taking the ropes. Gotcha. No clue what that is in reference to, but I don't see any drones coming in with crates.
I did see one off behind you, but it flew away. So.
All right, gotcha. All right, I'm gonna set up a static target off to the west in the woods, and then we're gonna initiate a patrol. And then once we've made our way, we've identified the target, we're gonna have you guys set it up. First time is gonna be slow and steady, wins the race. It's gonna be more of a walkthrough than anything more than that. We'll do that, we'll evaluate, we'll see where we land, correct what we need, walk through it again if we have to, and then I'm gonna start giving you targets that you can properly shoot at.
Rubbish. Yeah, so me and Ashburg Delta and you are Charlie.
Yay. One is stick point.
Yeah, and Ashburger, take your unicorns off.
Yeah, wait for us.
You mean my night vision, right?
Yeah.
How do I do that?
Stick them in your backpack.
Yeah, drag them from your face to the backpack.
Okay, here we go.
Smile, Mones, you're on camera.
Oh yeah, hello. My name is Guani. I'm gonna be a point man. I'm gonna die first. Yes.
Got to put your stream on Twitter. Fuck it up.
Twitter?
Yeah, or X.
Okay.
Yeah, we promote your Twitter, man.
Oh yeah, I remember from time to time.
Not your Twitter, your Twitch.
Yeah, my twitching, yes, I should be taking less drugs.
I trained my my ChatGPT to remember your Twitch's name.
It's not hard.
It's not.
That's what she said.
No, well.
Fucking hell, Burkhead's having some issues.
Oh, okay. Great.
I want to go to sleep.
All right, fellas, as soon as you're ready.
Okay, Monas.
The
Heads on the swivel. Check left, check right.
yeah,
Don't only look forward.
spacing. Yeah, and Edge, you, as the last man, you periodically check out rear as well.
Yep.
Good man.
Section hold.
Section hold.
Building front. Checking with Monas.
Possible some bigger gun in there. Might be mortar.
Okay.
Oh, those are enemies. There's 3. Wooden.
Yes. Okay. So that's a vehicle there also. A V-bet possibly. What's the best approach?
I think it's from right. There's so much
Foliage
stuff
and
going
slightly
on.
back. No. Okay. Kamara Edgeberg on me. Staying cover next to me and Monas.
Yeah, where?
You're gonna be the suppressing section on the enemy. I will be throwing a grenade when you hear the explosion. Start suppressing on the target. Me and Monas are gonna engage it from the north.
Roger.
Okay, Monas.
Yep.
Yep. Slightly fall back and move off.
Oh yeah, we're gonna use terrain to our side. Okay.
Don't have eyes yet.
Nice. See, in front of us.
Prepare grenade.
Ready.
On 3. 1, 2, 3.
Open fire.
Switch fire left, switch fire left. Move away from the vehicle.
Mag.
Okay, ceasefire. Monas, we're falling back.
Edgeberger, what's your MCAS? Say again?
You shoot that dead?
Yes. Okay.
I'm sorry.
Decision is to fall back east. Wait for orders.
Yeah. Let's get a section MCAS at the same time. 1 green.
2 green orange.
3 green.
Some moving east.
Or green, either.
Go down to the road, and that's where we regroup. Ice west. Stop. Index.
Index.
Camera. I got a bruise on my left hand.
Oh no. From what?
From my grenade.
I guess we gotta aim to take
I'm not a medic, by the way, so.
Oh shit.
Just took the 2 IC kit. Alright, we got supplies here. I guess we gotta.
Detach the thingies.
How do I do that?
Okay, it's already detached, so it's fine.
What did we get? Ooh.
Welcome to the future, boys.
Oh yeah.
I swear to God, we're fucking getting Uber deliveries here.
Well, there's even ammo for your rifle.
Alright, is anyone still injured?
No.
Okay.
Yep, I'm good.
Alright, fantastic. We'll do a quick eval, and if we need to, we'll resupply, and then I'm gonna throw you a new one. All in all, it works. You already know this, Nordic, but I'll be on your ass about it anyway. Try to find the structure of the SEO and emphasize each part. That way, it will always be structured and sound the same every time you do it, and that makes it easier for people to decipher the information that's being passed down. In itself, we're definitely where we need to be and want to be with this. I love the grenade initiation, Nordic. That's that's something I always do as well. It's nice. Using the terrain is a key element in this. I did choose this terrain specifically for how it's laid out to enable just what you did, being able to close in through a defilade. What you want to try and do is, if you can, from the original position, assign a breach point. It will help both Charlie and Delta to make sure to keep an eye on where Charlie appears, and it's going to be easier for Charlie to appear where you want to be in relation to your base of fire. Specifically, we do this to maintain the L shape and avoid any risk of getting blue on blue or having trouble maintaining that suppressive fire. All right, Nordic, any comments on this first one?
No.
I'll try to use less explosive enemies. It's a good grenade, though. Did its job. All right, anything else from the floor?
Oh, it was Silbot. It was grenades. It was 2 grenades exactly at the same time.
All right, fair enough. In that case, they were on point. I only saw one grenade go out, and I only saw 1 explosion. That's good shit. All right, let me set it up, and then we'll reset and go again. Resupply in the meantime if you have to.
Yeah, I just need 1 mag.
We're done. We're just that good with bonus. We set grenade on 3 and the grenade went on 3. Not on 2, not on 4.
Gotta be specific.
Yeah, Edgeburger AMCAS is ammunition and casualties report.
Right.
Basically saying, are you good on ammo?
Want to take an extra grenade?
Yep.
Okay. Oh, luckily I only used 1 mag.
That's being efficient.
I didn't even shoot anything.
Yeah, and the when you were doing the suppression fire, we're not doing the sort of let's not do the sort of Hollywood type that you just go full fucking blast and run out your magazine in like 10 seconds. Do it. What was the
deliberate fire?
Yeah, is it every 4 seconds or whatever?
Gotcha. Sorry.
No, I don't say sorry. You didn't know. There's nothing to be sorry about. But yeah, now they'll teach you everything, all of this when you go through What's it called? Phase 1. Have you signed up to it yet?
Well, I actually already did the phase 1.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Have you got phase 2 coming up?
I'm not sure when that's supposed to come up.
Oh, yeah, no, they'll inform you.
Yeah, should be soon. You've been here for a bit now.
Okay.
All right, fellas. We have a new one, less explosive. Let's run it again. You're on point with the rapid fire. How we want to do that. The best suppressive fire we can do is the one that hits the enemy. Force them to keep their heads down. All right, reset. Nordic, you're it. Take us out.
Okay, you want it exactly the same way, or you want to swap Guardian Delta?
No, let's keep it the same way.
Okay, Mon is on point. Stop west.
Oh, and when we're always moving in a formation like this, when you're the last man, call it on the radio, last man moving.
Last man moving.
Good drills.
Section hold.
Yeah, I have eyes on bunker. Slightly from west to south.
Contact seen, the bunker. What should we do differently, you think? Do the same?
Well, on this, we could make left. We can get the high ground, and we can use the hill still to move. Like behind the hill. Like move there so they don't see us. Both work.
Yeah, I want to make sure that it's actually the only thing that we should be. Come on, check right slightly. Okay, section. There's a bunker position to the west. Me and Mons are scouting it right now. Wait for orders. Yeah, let's try it from the left this time. I think there are some. Technically, there are someone looking to the north, and I don't see anyone on the south side.
Copy.
Okay, section similar drills. Get the location. I'm right now with Mones. Suppressing fire after grenade. Will be coming from the south side, from the trees. Make sure to not shoot us, and remember on switch right. Make sure that your shots are no longer going at us.
You have eyes on it?
Okay, Monas, take us out.
Delta set.
Oh, additional. This time we're going to do it different. Edge per Kamara switch to smokes. When I tell you smoke the area.
Roger.
And then start suppressing fire through the
Roger.
smoke.
Okay, ready.
Smoke,
Exit
smoke,
bunker.
smoke.
Smoke.
start suppressing. Okay, move in.
What do you say?
Move in.
Here.
Move in. Switch fire left. Engage.
Back.
Switch left. Switch fire left. I'm fucking good. Okay, ceasefire.
Right.
Yeah, ceasefire right now. Okay, let's go back.
When we smoked, do our guys lose sighting?
Yeah, but they're still suppressing. It's
Okay. Yeah.
so okay. So I did the wrong. I said switch fire left, but I think I still shoot the fucking targets. So that's something we need to work on.
Yeah.
Okay, regroup. Get back to the road to regroup. Okay, rearm.
All right, I have questions.
Go ahead.
Was the smoke grenades for screening, or was it because you didn't have any grenades?
The smoke grenades were screening and for distraction.
All right, gotcha. One thing that we need to remember to shift fire a lot sooner. Obviously, I saw it from a different perspective, and that was quite close. Because what we end up doing now is we basically lay a smoke screen in front of the base of fire, and then we run into the objective. And rounds were pinging off the top of the bunker when I believe it was you, Nordic, was standing next to it.
Yeah, we had some miscommunication on both sides. I meant to say switch fire right, and I said left, and then the fire didn't switch at all.
Yeah, it was a little bit confusing.
Yeah, but that's why we're here, and then we pick up on these things that way. But I can't emphasize it enough. We got to make sure that we're on point with our shift fires. We want to fire as long as we possibly can to give that suppression and maintain local fire superiority, but we don't want to do it on the risk of injuring someone. That's why we need to be proficient about it. All right, in completely unrelated news, 16 CSMR have just managed to medevac someone using a drone. So even one more step further into the future.
We're all going to be unemployed soon.
Yeah. Next, there's gonna be just resupplied with drones that are like crayons.
Yeah, quick question on the switch fire. In an environment like this, like a very wooded area, there's not really any sort of reference points. So, like when you say switch fire left or right, like how much generally do you switch? Is it just
actually,
if you see the friendlies, then it's easy, but here you're barely seeing them.
If it's a clear objective, in this case you had a bunker. If you say shift right, you'll shift fire right of the bunker. If you're in built-up areas, you shift 2 rooms ahead of the advancing fire team or section. And if you can make out positions, you can predetermine where you're going to switch to. But for a static objective like this on a section level, once the shift fire is called, that means that you got people moving on the objective, and you shift fire either right or left of the objective, depending on where you're coming from.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, Delta fire team lead has the opportunity and the ability and the right to shift, to watch and shoot, or call a ceasefire if we don't see that there's any necessity to continue firing. Do you know how much each round cost?
70 cents.
Yep. So if you put it into context and you put an entire platoon assault, you're gonna fire through a lot of rounds. It's gonna cost a lot of money. Takes time to produce. Takes effort to bring forward. So every bullet gotta count.
Now we're in NATO. Now we're with the Americans. Now we don't have to count no more.
Oh yeah, right.
You say that.
Yeah. For how long?
Say that it's far from the truth, sir.
Camera, remember, we use different ammo than NATO. We use 7.62, so we have to still count.
Yeah, I know. And I've counted them. Yes, I've counted the bullets.
All right. Any comments anyone wants to add of this go?
It's usually more sex if we have a machine gunner. Then there is a lot of more happening, but you can always do that with rifles. Remember, if possible, if you have like 2 or 3 people, you can always do the singing. You sing usually with the machine guns. I talk with the machine guns, so you go do tat-tat-tat, and then the other one goes tat-tat-tat. You can slightly do that even with rifles. You wait for time when there's nobody else shooting, and take your time, and take your shot at that time. And then you're gonna have consistent fire going at the target while not using too much ammunition.
That is true.
All right, splendid, gents. Are you happy for me to throw some actual fighters on target?
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
All right, love to hear it.
Let's make this plan crash and burn on the first contact with enemy.
Let me just grab smokes. Okay. Då kör vi då.
Nordic. How about now, frags in, and when we start, what's the word? Coming off from the target, back to here, we smoke with Delta.
Yes, excellent. What weed or
what?
Like weed or?
Yeah, that's what I meant. You know, relaxing.
It's RNR, but not that type of RNR.
That's for after the rotation.
Yeah, not in the middle.
A whole day. God damn, my bad.
What?
Oh.
Damn, celebrating before we're done.
We got too much alcohol again now.
What did you do? I thought like 15 minutes ago you said you don't have any alcohol.
No, I didn't have at the table.
Oh, okay. Well.
Yeah, we had housewarming party yesterday, so yeah, we have alcohol still.
Yeah, a lot of it.
Well, that's what usually happens when you go to a party and there's like more alcohol left after the party than before.
Yeah. This is good drinks, the good beer that Sandri bought us.
Yeah, the Hartwald, the cocktail. Yeah. I'm doing a cocktail mojito now.
Yeah, I'm having the Eriko's beer.
Special beer, special craft.
Yeah.
I'm having some gin with tonic, and it's Bombay Sapphire. Pretty good gin.
Bombay
fancy. Yeah. Whenever you're ready.
Good.
Okay, section on the move Monis. Take us out on a date with the future.
So Nordic, you wanted me to take
last man moving
with a gun or?
Good job.
Well, first take me out for a dinner, then you can take me out with a gun.
Okay.
Section hold.
Section hold. All right.
Nordic, possible enemy bunker west, approximately 80-90 meters.
Seen in the trees to the left. Any sighting of enemy?
Negative.
Okay, we're gonna try to engage it from the north again, as that had better positioning than this one. Kamara Edgeberg, similar situation as previously. Get to our position and suppress fire on my mark. We're gonna start with grenades again, and after we are done with everything, we're gonna be retreating with smokes. Or actually, no. Let's do it differently. This time, we're gonna, after we engage with grenades, you suppress. We take the assault. You switch fire, and after I tell you, you regroup with us on the bunker position.
Roger.
Okay, Manes, engage.
Switch to Whisper.
In this case, it's gonna be switch fire left. Even if I tell right, you're gonna switch left.
Roger. Roger. Engage.
Nordic, you okay? Nordic, you okay?
Yeah, now I'm back.
You okay, mate?
Yeah, I got killed. Yeah, I got literally the first. Okay, blind grenades.
Grenades, copy.
On 3. Ready?
Yep. Yep.
1, 2, 3. Then down. We're engaging. Suppress fire. Okay, another grenade. Switch fire left.
Swift left.
Switch fire left. Okay, ceasefire. Regroup on the bunker position. Take west. Okay, Kamara Edgeberg, take north and east. Monis west. I'm thinking south. Kamara, north and east.
Where do you want me, Nordic?
North.
North and west.
Okay, I'm Cass.
1, green, green.
2 green, yellow. Shot.
3, green, green.
4, green, yellow.
Okay. Hello.
Remember, first is ammo, second is how you're doing.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
My mistake. Sorry.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, regroup in the middle of bunker positions, but
Okay, hell, those guys have good eyes.
Okay,
I
so
mean,
my mistake.
I will say he threw out like 260 rounds before he hit Nordic, something like that.
no, that actually I got the first round. The first rounds were coming at me exactly. So.
I can barely hear Nordic.
Oh, sorry. I was on mute because you know how to whisper in the game.
So, I think it's tab.
Yeah, tab and then scroll wheel to go up and down. Yeah,
Okay, yeah,
so usually it's a good idea to whisper because anyway, anything that's gonna happen, you're gonna be using the radio, and then radio doesn't like use whisper; it just goes normal. Okay, so what you were saying?
All right, so obviously we're a bit more switched on now that we got a somewhat thinking enemy. So we're quick to acquire the objective. We're setting up ourselves in from a good position where we are pretty much in cover and concealment. The initiation, you're a bit unlucky because it kind of kicks off before you're at a comfortable distance to initiate with your grenades. But all in all, we're laying down suppressive fire. As you mentioned before, Nordic, we would have a completely different effect of what we're doing here if this was taking place with a full fire team with a machine gun. It would have had a lot better chance of achieving local fire superiority. That is effectively what we're missing here. We're not really achieving the suppression that we want. I don't want to bash anyone and say that you guys were crap at shooting, but you weren't really putting on enough pressure. So rounds were definitely pinging here, but they weren't close enough to the targets to force them down. So we end up initiating with the flank as opposed to the base of fire. That kind of throws things off a little bit. We quickly regain the initiative. We get accurate rounds out from Charlie. I think Delta got the first guy, and then we're moving. We're making progress. We're pushing. We're seizing terrain. We're maintaining initiative, but we forget the shift fire. I don't know if it's from the angle that I'm sitting, but I'm pretty confident that the two of you would have noticed that you're still being fired upon once you entered this position, because rounds were still pinging off the bunker from Delta.
Yeah, yeah, we saw that.
Yeah, so just don't forget about
you guys,
it.
Did we?
No, you're not that good at a shot.
Wow,
oh.
Thanks.
But yeah, that's the core of it. You know, we're gonna be headed into situations where we set things up. We want things to work the way that we want them, and then bam, first round, our plan's out the window. That is more common than uncommon, and it's something I wanted to be used to. That's where the hasty attack is the most applicable, where we can converge in a situation. We can do deliberate actions with short amount of time under pressure. That's what we want to be able to do. So we want the pattern, we want the momentum of being able to set this up as quickly as possible and executing it, because that's where we gain our that's where we gain ground. We continue towards the commander's intent, and if we can do it in a controlled fashion like we're doing now, that's where we are dictating the fight. I know I say this about 1,000,000 times every campaign because it's a reoccurring thing. If you have an enemy that's defending a position, or they're delaying us, or they're doing something, it doesn't matter if we are sitting safely in a compound or in a building and we're holding firm because we don't want to take casualties, or we've taken some casualties. We are effectively letting the enemy dictate the fight. They are achieving their mission by delaying our momentum and delaying us in completing our objective. And in almost every occasion this takes place, they are buying time to make further defensive preparations or delaying preparations that will make it more difficult for us to fight. That's why this is important and why we need to master this and be as effective as possible in conducting these types of actions. It's imperative that we are the ones that control the fight. And for section level, as well as platoon level, the prerequisite to be able to do this is to achieve local fire superiority. And we do that through our base of fire. We cannot maneuver without firing, and we can't fire without maneuvering. Make sense?
Yep.
Yes. Silbit.
Yes.
For this instance, would it be easier if, say, I just switched my loadout from Assistant MG to the GPMG, just so we can have that little extra edge for suppression?
I mean, that would have been favorable. We don't have a whole lot of time left on this station before we get to rotate. But yes, you're obviously in a bit of a pickle, only being 4 people, and you're still performing, and we're still making the movements. Obviously, we get a much greater effect in a full section. You're effectively a fire team now doing a section thing, so. Not expecting you to blow them off the face of the planet right away.
No.
All right, some considerations that I want to give you before I send you off to the next station. Do whatever you can to set things up right away. The more accurate and dangerous we can be, the better effect we're going to get from our base of fire. If we can, we want to deploy our heavier weapons with Delta Fire Team. That way we have our support good to go always, and we can have a much faster, lighter element with Charlie, as opposed to trying to balance between the two. Then we get Jack of all trades and Master of none.
Charlie.
Whenever you give SEOs or any type of orders, always use the same type of rhythm. Always emphasize the headings or the categories, and make sure that it's always going to be the same thing. If you do the same thing every time, doesn't matter if you're speaking to a GPMG gunner or you're speaking to Kamara when he's hungover, it's always going to be the same deal. It's always going to be easy for people to decipher and extract the vital information of the orders, and it's going to be the one thing that we can always rely on. I mean, it's not necessarily as big of a thing in the environment that we're in, but in war, you have so many uncertainties and nothing is guaranteed. So the one thing that you can rely on is your orders are always going to sound the same. They're always going to be the same. That is the one thing that is, going to be the foundation of everything. It's going to be unchanged, no matter how dire the situation is. And that's what's going to get us through. That's why we have all these cribs and all these different formats that we were using. And finally, once we take an objective, we have to make the decision whether we're going to defend it or whether we're going to pull off location. The key here is to never linger. If we can avoid lingering in a position, that's going to make us a lot more difficult to target for the enemy. And the biggest enemy that we're facing, or the biggest threat that we're facing in taking positions like this, is indirect fire. If we move on to a known enemy position and they fire on that position, then obviously we're going to sustain casualties. So based on the enemy, the terrain, and your mission, make an executive decision in time and space whether you are maintaining that position or if you're moving off position straight away. If we put this in a platoon context, normally what we want to do is when we go through positions like this, we'll take a position, we'll defend seized terrain, and prepare ourselves to provide support by fire for the section next in line to conduct their assault. Abounding at platoon level, if you will. All right. Any questions, considerations, or comments before we wrap it up?
Just so yeah. What I want to say. So yeah, sometimes it's really linger too long with spots like these, even though we should be taking like talking in ops. Too often sit in the location instead of taking it out, moving somewhere out, even 100, 200 meters out, because we did the objective and we can look at the area still, and we should be out by the time the IDF comes in. And too often we are moving through basically previously occupied areas. I know we cleared the areas, but sometimes we're literally moving through the same bunkers as the enemy was a minute ago. So the IDF might not come in exactly at the moment we kill everyone, but it can take 5 minutes or 10 minutes. You never know. My 2 cents.
Yeah, solid points, Nordic. All right, I'm gonna get in touch with whomever is in charge of the rotation. I'll get you guys going. If you need to resupply, just make your way on foot back to the crate. Make sure we sort that before I move anyone.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go east, direct east. Sorry.
1-0 Alpha.
Oh, another thing that what Silbot said. So in my perfect world, I would see Delta having both the MG, the marksman, and the AT to be the complete support group, and then everyone else being the pointman and rifleman and IC
1-0 Alpha, 1-0
to
Bravo.
just be able to engage whatever needs to be done with a rifle. Everything else should be engaged by Delta. But that's perfect world, so we often have the MG and the marksman and Delta, but the 18 Charlie. That's how it is.
Oh, there it is.
This time I used 2 grenades.
Was there just one enemy on there?
2.
Hello, 1-0 Bravo, this is 1-2 Charlie.
Yeah, we're probably going to station 1, so we're going to be on fucking radio shiz. Radio equipment, procedures, and medical.
Uh-huh.
Beautiful.
It's a beautiful day. Do. Silbot, how did Sweden lose to Luxembourg?
I don't think you see it.
That's a good question.
Oh, and it's probably a lot of people are too young to remember that. But just 2 or 3 years ago, if you did something like this, you would ragdoll somebody.
Yes,
or potentially kill.
4 platoon remembers, man. Fucking, that was logistics squad's biggest casualty reason with the boxes.
Yes.
Well, you guys should have been here when we had forklifts.
Oh, we had forklifts.
Yeah.
Oh lord, that had to be a whole
Yeah, that was
bunch
terrible.
of bullshit.
We'd have a person drive a forklift and strike a C-130 with the entire company in it. Everybody dying. Happened more than once. Ask Kerwin. He will tell you all about it. He might have been one of the people driving forklifts.
Oh, of course.
Well, that because he's really simulating everything, including dozing off in the making forklift.
Forklifts.
Somebody was watching too many of those Swedish or whatever about those. Or were those German forklift videos about safety?
Yeah, the German forklift videos.
I thought they were Chinese or something. But yeah.
No, there was.
I heard something about German forklift. Sorry.
Yeah, German forklift safety video.
Finnish tutorial on how to go through a door.
Yeah, man.
That one is great.
enough pleasantries, enough having fun. Follow me, guys.
Classic Fred.
Classic Fred. Oh, you guys.
I'm trying to wear down Pliskin. Is it working? I think so.
Hello, good day, sir or madam. How can we help
I
you?
don't know where to go, who to go. Yeah, Silva, we're supposed to be with you, I believe, so...
Okay, ready to
You
be
have
in
custody of us.
Alright. One free.
My condolences.
Is that all of us here?
1, 2,
Yeah.
go
Yeah,
It's only 4?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, done. Got kidnapped.
He went to
Cold feet.
RHA and then what's his face? Crosspetal
The general.
LOA.
Right. Okay, where are we? Always very confused immediately after teleport. I feel sick as well. Okay, over here. So do you have an IC at all with you? In 2SC or IC?
Technically, I'm today taking the IC position.
Yeah? So,
Yes.
like I said before, it's up to if you want to run this station, or if you want me to do it, or you want to
No,
join.
I'm like acting IC today, so
Okay.
go ahead and I'm rusty with all the.
Okay, guys, if you
basics.
want to dive into this crate here and take one of the items each, you can just put that in your inventory. You can just keep your GPS. You don't have to put it in there. Right. Okay. So let's start with the 152, the ANPRC 152 radio. This is the radio that is used by the IC and 2SE and Platoonet. It has a range of up to 5 kilometers in ideal conditions, as opposed to the 343, the section radio, which is 500 meters. So this is quite a lot more powerful radio, longer range. If you hold on left control plus left windows to open the A self interact, go down to radios, and then 152, hover over the 152 and let the keys go, and you should open the 152 radio and see it largely in your face. Anyone not seeing that? All right.
I see it.
Okay, good. Right, so in the top you have only one knob. I suggest you don't touch it, because if you click the wrong mouse button, you can turn it off, and if you do that, then when you turn it back on again, there's going to be delay, and it's going to be like a boot up sequence. You'll waste time. Don't do it. Instead, you can change the channel by using the PRE button in the bottom right interface there, or the bottom right buttons with a plus and a minus. If you all want to switch to channel 12 by clicking the plus sign there. So channel 12, 1, 2. You can also change the volume by hovering the mouse over the top left edge of the radio there. It will say change volume like a tooltip, and you can left or right click on it. You can also do a bunch of other stuff with the radio. You can set it on loudspeakers so people around you can hear what's going on, but we won't care about that today. But at least so you know how to change channel and change volume if you do need to use this radio. If, for example, the IC and 2IC goes down and you need to communicate to Platoonet. And that's why we're talking about this right now. You have that knowledge. All right, so we changed it to channel 12. Press escape. Then left control plus left windows again. Radios 152, where it says PTT2. This means push to talk to. So you can have different push to talk keys for the radios. You can have up to 3 different push to talk keys. So that meaning you can have 3 radios and they're all assigned their own key, so you can broadcast on each radio without much effort or without much difficulty. So push to talk key 2 per default is left control plus caps lock. So if it says PTT2, that's if you press left control plus caps lock that you'll use this radio. You can also change the ear, which you know. I'm not sure what ear you use for the 343 or if you just have the center, but I usually keep my 152 radio on the left ear and the 343 on the right ear when I'm in a section. But that's entirely up to you. But it's good to not have the same ear, because that way you know which of the nets you are receiving a call from.
Unless
And-
you're getting called from all three cannons at the same time.
Yeah. So let's do a quick order of march. So I'll be 1-0. Type this down so I won't forget. 1-0 Alpha, and we'll have Kamara. It will be 1-1 Charlie.
Yep.
Edgeburger, you'll be 1-1 Delta.
Okay.
And then Monis, you'll be 1-2 Charlie.
Copy.
And Nordic, you'll be 1-2 Delta.
Copy.
So, just the same way we do radio checks with the section before you step off, we're gonna do that now as well. So what typically happens is that the platoon sergeant does that, but I'll be the platoon commander today and I'll do it instead. So I will go, hello, all call signs, this net is now open. Let's have a radio check by the numbers, over. And I forgot to say my own call sign, I was very rude. So. Hello, call signs, this is 1-0 Alpha, this net is now open, let's do a radio check by numbers, over. And then...
1-1 Charlie, okay.
I did not hear that. Hold, stop. Did you set the
I heard it.
You did?
Oh.
I heard it.
1-1 Charlie, okay.
There we go.
Yeah,
Now
yeah,
it worked.
sorry.
1-1 Delta, okay.
And you're forgetting over. That's another thing with platoon. You always want to use over when you're on the platoon net, when you're finishing.
1-2 Charlie, okay, over.
1-2 Delta, okay, over.
All heard, out. And that's that.
And that's something you usually hear at the beginning of the op, everyone doing.
Yeah. Alright, so that's how to use that radio. That's not very difficult. Next thing we want to look at is the C tab. The C tab we use for Blue Force tracking. You can bring it up by pressing H for hotel, normally. If you try it, let me know. Are you seeing it? Or is someone not seeing it? Yeah? Anyone not seeing that? Okay, good.
Yep.
Alright, so this Blue Force Tracker C-Tab can do many different things. You can use the F keys on the keyboard, the Foxtrot keys, or you can just click with the mouse. Let's start with the F1 key. If you click there, then you'll see the map. And here is the Blue Force tracking itself. You can see where we're just overflown by some JHC call sign. I didn't have time to see what it was, but heard like fast or fixed wing aircraft. And this is very useful, of course, for the IC, 2IC of your section, and also all the sections and the platoon HQ to see where all the elements are in the field. You can, if you pan to the right, there's the station 3. You can see we have company HQ and 1-2, and basically you'll only see the leader of each group if they have a Blue Force tracker. So in this case, company HQ, that's Major Silvet, and then the 1-2 marker is likely Carlson, right? And if you click on F2, here we can see all the drone feeds that we have going on. So, for example, the Charlie 226, Charlie 31, and Charlie 33, those were the drones that sent out these supply crates to us earlier. And if you press the F3 key, then you can see all the helmet cams. Some people have helmet cams. The ICs have that, so you can see what Carlson, Newgran, and Nordic. Nordic is right here, and he also has one, so you can see what he's looking at. He's pointing his gun straight at me. He doesn't like this. Very uncomfortable.
Sorry, let me fix this. You jail.
F4. Yeah. The F4 key, basically SMS. You can send each other text messages, which is very useful if we are on a big map, for example. So the radios are out of range, but this is via satellite, so it will always reach destination unless the Russians shoot down the satellite, basically.
Damn Russians.
Yeah. So what you do to send a message, you basically just on the bottom left where it says the box for composed messages, you just click on the name you want to send to. If you want to send a message to multiple individuals, you can hold down the control key and just keep pressing names. And then the box on the bottom right, you can just type the message and then click send. Don't do it now. Or you can do it to me if you want, but don't send it to the others, because what I'm going to do instead, I'm going to send a message to each of you.
Also, you can also use shift and just select everyone from like click one person and then shift and like the very bottom, and then you can send message to everyone.
That's right. Okay, so. Okay, so I'm now sending a message to you. You should hear like a vibration thing going on, and there will be an icon in the top right for like a mail icon. Usually I forget about these messages, and I realize 30 minutes later that I had some message going on. But this is also used if, for example, the platoon sergeant doesn't want to tie up the platoon net with logistic communication. So he might just send a text message to all the 2 ICs in every section for an AMCAS report, an ammunition casting status report, to hear what's going on with the logistics if they need anything and so on. Very useful. If you press the F1 key again, do you see the map? And then click on F6, you can change the appearance of the map. If you press on the button on the right that does not have anything on it at all, you center the map on your own location. Quite useful. All right. So, any questions on the C-tab? All right. Let's go to the micro dagger. So the micro dagger, you should be able to press the home key to, or actually, you should see the micro dagger in the bottom right. Do you all see that?
Click home key and then.
If you click on the home key, you see the micro dagger in the bottom right.
Yes.
Right? So okay, and if you press the home key again, then you should see it much larger in the center of the screen.
Yes.
All right. So this will give you your own location grid at the top. So, or let's start from the very top. In the very top, you have the clock, the time, and the other 2 indicators for signal strength and battery are not functioning. So leave those. But then you also see your on the right-hand side the 10-figure grid that you're currently at. Also, MSL means mean sea level, so that's your elevation above mean sea level. We are currently at what altitude, Monis?
129 feet MSL.
Yeah, that's right. It will also tell you where you are facing. So I'm facing currently at 010.3 degrees, and it will also tell me the speed that I'm moving at, 0 kph currently. You have in the bottom, there's 3 different buttons you can click on. The center button there is the compass, which can be very useful because you can program waypoints in this thing, and then it will just give you the direction to it. So let's try it. The bottom right button there gives you a map, and you can hold down the right mouse button and drag around the map, and you can click on the plus and minus buttons there on the bottom of the map to zoom in or zoom out, and the sort of crosshair button in the center will center on your own location. Right, if you click on the top bar, the clock, 12:45, if you click there, you'll have 4 new buttons appearing. Mark, waypoints, connect to, and settings. Right now, we're just going to click on waypoints. So here you can add a waypoint, and you can add any 6, 8, or 10 figure grid. So what does that mean? If you close down all that and just open your map, you see in the top of the screen, or the top of the map, we have the grid numbers there, 3-digit numbers, and then on the left we also have some grid numbers. And let's find our location. So, Hatchburger, what is our current grid?
Current grid. That's the one guy who has no idea what the hell he's doing.
So you now you have the micro daggers. It's super easy. You just click make sure you can see the micro dagger. Click on the first screen, those bottom 3 things there.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And now you can see your current grid, right?
This is gonna be the 5-digit numbers on the top right, underneath the battery.
Yes, that's right. So you got.
Okay.
That's a 10-figure grid because you have 10 figures in that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and that means it's accurate down to the meter.
Okay. So 14224 east and 1106 north. If I'm reading that correctly.
Yeah. So we usually say like grid 14220 11102. That's all we do. We don't have to say east and north and stuff. But anyway, it doesn't matter. Okay. So that's our current grid. Let's move it 100 meters to the north. So that would be grid 14220 11002. And if you click on that clock face at the top again, and then go into waypoints, and then click add, let's try and enter that. So actually, you can variate it a little bit, but make sure you start with 14, and then you can enter any other three numbers that you want. So 14, and then whatever 3 numbers you want, and then 11, and then any other 3 numbers that you want, and then press OK. And then you give a name to it. So whatever name, like I'll say Fred's WP for waypoint, and click OK. Are you able to do that, all of you, or is someone struggling?
I've got the 14. How do I enter the second? Just hit OK and then enter the next one.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
No. Okay, so now I understand what you mean. You just enter all the 10 numbers in one line. You don't have to separate the northing and the easting.
Okay.
It understands, so it always because otherwise it won't be able to understand the waypoint. You managed to do it?
I think so.
All right. Okay, so you've given it a name and everything. So what you want to do now? Open the micro dagger in the big mode. Click the home button. Click on the map in the bottom right, and now you can zoom out. Hold down the right mouse button, zoom out and in with the mouse scroll wheel, and you should see like a yellow pin somewhere. Not too far away from us.
Does it look like a little yellow dot on the map?
Yep.
Yeah, it looks like a pin. Yeah.
Yeah, I see it.
Anyone not seeing that? Mara, you got one?
Right. Can you say the grids again? The first one.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I'll just give you some
messed
grids.
it up as well. Yeah.
So click on let's start from the start. Click on the time in the top of the screen.
Yeah.
And then waypoints.
Yeah.
You can delete if you have something old and add a new one.
Yeah.
And enter the 10-digit grid. So it should be I'll give you something. So 14013.
Yep.
11029.
Yep.
And then OK.
Yep.
And then give it a name.
Gang.
And then OK. And then open the map and then zoom out and see if you can see that yellow pin.
Yes, I can see it.
All right. So what you can do, it's a bit of back and forth here now, but so click on the time in the top again, waypoints, and then highlight the waypoint that you did, and then on the bottom set WP, set waypoint. And now it should show the compass, and then there should be like a red indicator of the direction and the range. Anyone not seeing that?
I see it.
We don't always use this because we have so many means at our disposal, but it's good to know this stuff anyway, how it works.
Also, when you're in the map mode in the micro dagger, if you double click anywhere, You're also gonna be able to set a waypoint.
Oh, yeah, that's it. That B. That's brilliant.
That's interesting.
So that's like, I want to go there. You just double click. If someone radios to you and says we are at this grid, or can you move to this grid? You can just quickly enter it there, and it'll
Yeah. So
show you the
both ways are important.
Yeah. All right. So another thing, open the micro dagger again in the big mode. Click on the time in the top, and then the connect to button. Now you should see like a laser icon in the top left of the time.
See?
Anyone not
man.
seen? Yeah. What this is, it connects many of your devices. So it connects, for example, if you press B for Bravo, you'll take out your vector binoculars, and they are now connected to the micro dagger. The Blueforce tracker is also connected. But this vector here is really, really awesome. So guys, if you all want to look towards the northeast, just line up and we'll look together. So I'm just going to give you some functions what this thing can do. So by holding the right mouse button, you will look through it, just like with any scope. And if you hold down the R for Romeo key until you see a red circle and then let go, it will give you the range to any target. If you hold on tab for a moment, and then you don't even have to let go, it will tell you the bearing in degrees to the target. Where are you looking? 46 for me, right? You can combine these.
Down tree, it's like 27 degrees.
Yeah, it depends what you're looking at, obviously. So you can also combine these. So if you look down the side, hold down tab, and then immediately press R until you see a red circle, and then let go. It will give you both. So it will give you the degrees, and it will give you the range.
Can you say that one more time?
Yeah. So I'm looking through the binos. I'm pressing tab and then R. Holding down R and tab together, and until I see the red circle, and then I let go of the keys. And you should be able to see both the bearing and the range in numbers.
Oh, that's cool.
And not only that. Now, if you open the Blueforce tracker immediately after you've done that, you should see like a little box appearing where it says enemy salute, medical, general, etc.
Okay, this is beautiful.
If you click
how do
on
I open Blueforce tracker again?
H for hotel.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I see it now.
So when you do that, you can, for example, let's give a scenario. I'm looking at an enemy infantry section about 1 kilometer away, and they're walking. They don't know of our presence, so they're walking like to the right or something. So I'm looking on them with a vector, and I'm using left tab R, opening my Blueforce tracker, enemy salute, infantry, section, southeast, boom. Exact location of what I was just looking at and what I was looking at. And everyone will see this, right? All the people in 16A that has a Blueforce tracker will see this. So extremely useful if you want to call in artillery on something. This 7RHA also can see this immediately.
Man, this is getting too easy now.
Yeah, we ain't needing map tools anymore.
No, the vector is crazy useful. There's so many more things you can do to it.
Yeah.
For example, I don't know if you want to go through it. I can show you everything, but it's up to you.
The most important thing. So one most important thing that Fred didn't say yet. So also, if you do what he just said about the tab and R, and then look at your micro dagger, the micro dagger is gonna tell you the EUR exactly the location of where you were pointing at, which is excellent if you want to send some beautiful presents at that location, because you just send those numbers to whoever is currently manning the artillery, and you can send the friendly packages there.
So I'll just say that again. By
Yeah,
doing the tab R, and you can just look at the micro dagger in the bottom right immediately. The bottom half now shows the information what you were just looking at. So you have the bearing and the range and the grid of that location.
Yeah, the UR one. That's the grid.
And the elevation even. So it's very, very useful. You all understand that, yeah?
Yeah, that's
okay.
awesome.
This is too easy.
Well, that's how I got at least like 30 assists, because at one time I just used this and IDF support.
Right. Okay, so let's try something else. If you want to show the range between two things.
What the
Okay,
fuck?
so look at something and hold R and press tab once and then move to something else and then let go.
Holy
No,
shit.
that's a mistake. That's a mistake. Wait, let me just do this properly. Yeah, no, it's correct. It's correct. That's the way.
Oh
So
my
I'll say it again.
god.
So look at the first thing, hold down R, press tab, and let go tab. Move somewhere else, let go of the keys. 40 meters for me.
Okay, I want one of these in real life.
Wait, so say hold down R.
So you start with holding down tab when you look at something, and then tap R. You don't have to tap it. Keep holding down tab. Move to something else, and let go of tab.
Oh, okay, yeah, I got the tap wrong. Yeah.
So yeah, it will actually give you both the bearing and the range to it. So let's try it one more time. You'll get both the bearing from point A to point B and the range between it. So one more time. Look at point A, hold down tab, tap R, and move, and let go. And it will give you both those numbers.
Okay, that's cool.
Interesting.
To be honest, vector is one of the most interesting things I found in Arma. Like so many things that you can do and just play with it. There's so many options. I think there's even more that we just discussed, and just.
There's definitely.
There's also one about which one was about that the difference in elevation between you and the target.
So you can show the horizontal and vertical distance to the target. So basically, the range to the target and how high or below you it is. You do that, look on anything, and double tap R. When you see the red circle, you let go. So you double tap and hold down, and the red circle you let go. Now that's the range on the left, and then the elevation above you or below you.
Yeah.
So if you look like something below or downwards, and you do it, double tap R and then let go, you'll give you a negative value, hopefully.
Yeah.
And that's meters, right?
That's all of its meters, yes.
Yeah. So we don't use it mostly, but if you ever actually are working with any sniper rifles, those are actually things that you really want to like, because do you also use micro dagger for the there's a sniper computer, right, for calculations.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of things that you add there also. Some of the micro dagger, the vector is useful.
I'll show you one more thing, okay? This is very useful for if we're calling in artillery support and the rounds are landing off the target. They're not accurate on the target. So what you do is you double tap and hold the tab on the target itself that you want the round to land on. Double tap and hold tab. Tap R for Romeo, and then you move to the fall of the shot and release.
Oh my god.
So what you're telling 7RHA now is that you need to move it left 32 and away or up 9.
Beautiful.
Hey, what's that sequence again?
So you double tap wrong. You double tap tap. You double tap tab. I can't speak. Double tap tab on the target that you want to hit. Until the target bearing is displayed, and then you tap R for Romeo. And you'll see the 1P marker appearing, and you keep holding down tab. And then you move to where the shot fell, and you let go. Anyway, this is a bit advanced. Maybe we should just move on.
No, I love this, man.
But you can
it's a cool concept, though.
Yeah, it's really cool. You can also change, like now everything is in degrees, but you can change settings so it shows in millidots and all that stuff as well. So, and you also have night vision, of course.
Okay, so last tip about the vector. So often I was very good with the ET because I acquired vectors and was able to pinpoint the range of the thing and then use the cargo stuff to fucking aim at the correct range. That's the secret.
All right. So yeah, let's put those away for now. Okay. So the next thing we should talk about is what you guys should do if your IC and 2IC goes down. So it can be very bad because the company HQ can lose connection with the section, and that's then it's a whole section we lost. We can't use anymore, and there might still be people alive up there. It might be maybe just the IC and 2IC down. So what you need to do, you need to figure out who's in charge. Sometimes it's clear who the 3IC is. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes someone steps up. But if no one steps up, which happens, you only have privates remaining and no one wants to take charge. What you can do is you can check on the Orbat to see, because it's sorted by who joined the unit first. So for all the privates in 1-3, the Nordic is the most senior because he joined the unit latest. But again, that is, or he joined the unit earliest. But again, if someone has been already designated as 3SC, of course that takes precedence. So, but I'm just saying, there's never any excuse to not know who's in charge. And if that person is not comfortable with being in charge, the guy who was there in 16A longest, then he can then give the command to someone else. But he needs to step up and at least do that. All right. So what you need to do, whoever is in charge needs to get a hold of one of the radios or the 152 radio from the IC or 2SC. He needs to pick it up and he needs to call it in to platoon HQ basically. And what he should do, he should give a sit rep. And a sit rep is like a special outline report. And if you have a pen and paper, probably best, I'll just tell you what the sit rep consists of. Any one of you need a little bit of time to get a pen and paper?
I think I got
give me 1 second.
I have
Alright.
more notes here already.
Pen and paper in this economy?
Okay, I'm good.
Alright, you all good?
Yeah.
Alright. So a sit rep. So basically, if the IC or 2SC goes down, you pick up the radio, you are now in command. You need to send a sit rep to platoon HQ because they don't know what's going on. Right? So the sit rep consists of a time of the report, or you could say as of 2 minutes ago. So one of those two, either you can say the current time, or as of 2 minutes ago if you want to report like a special incident. But anyway, we start with the time. And then you want to quickly give an overview of your own forces. So in this case, it could be IC and 2IC are down. I have 5 combat effective individuals. Then you want to give an overview of enemy forces, if there are any. There probably is, because you had an IC or 2IC go down. Or maybe it was a stray artillery round, who knows. But if there are enemy forces, you need to specify that as well. So that could be Northwest 200, one enemy infantry section engaging us. And then finally, you need to give your intent, your intentions. What do you want to do from now on? And if you need any support. So that could be, my intent is to continue suppressing the enemy and wait for reinforcements, or my intent is to win the firefight against the enemy and left flank assault and destroy the enemy. No support required, for example. So quickly, I'll just go how to say the whole sit rep. So sit rep, as of 2 minutes ago, IC and 2IC are down. I have 5 combat effective individuals. Enemy section dug in a 2-story building northeast, 150 meters of our position. They are engaging us. My intent is to engage the enemy back and left flank and attack the enemy. No support required. over. Yeah, does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Of course, it takes a bit of practice, but as long as you have those four things, or actually, yeah, four things: so time, own forces, enemy forces, intentions. That are sort of the main thing that we need in HQ, so we can be effective and continue to operate in the platoon. Now, of course, there is another thing I jumped ahead. Basically, you need the very, very first thing you need to do is to let platoon HQ know that the situation, what has happened. So basically, hello 10 Alpha, this is 11 Charlie, message over. That's how I initiated. So 10 Alpha, that is the platoon commander for one platoon. And then 11 Charlie, that's your own call sign. I have a message, over. So again, I'll say, hello 10 Alpha, this is 11 Charlie, message over. And the call signs are tied to the role in the section. They're not tied to individuals. So if the IC goes down and you take over, you are now 11 Charlie automatically.
Oh, I've always thought that we say that we have, the number we're in the section. But that's good to know.
No. Yeah, not that. There is. I mean, there's 11 Charlie, 1 Delta. That is it. There are no other call signs. So, but you could say just 1 as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. The important thing is that you get the message over. So you say message over, and then 10 Alpha will reply with a. This is 10 Alpha. Send message over, and then you'll just go. I see 2-0 down. This is the most senior remaining man taking command of the section. Sit rep to follow. Break, and then you can go ahead with the sit rep.
Yeah.
You don't want to say your name on the platoon net ever, because it's OPSEC, right? On the section net, it's something else, but on the platoon and higher nets, we never use names. So you don't say this is Kamara. You could just say, this is the point man of the section or the senior most private taking over. We also have contact reports. So if you are suddenly in contact with the enemy, what you want to be doing is you want to go to immediately you want to go on the net and say, hello, 10 Alpha, this is 11 Charlie, contact, wait out. Because you are in contact and the platoon commander needs to know you are in contact. You don't know what you're facing yet, but at least you've given the message to the platoon commander that we are now taking some form of contact. So you said wait out. That means now he's expecting you to get back to him as soon as you have more information, but you'll now find out what's going on. And typically what you would have happen is that the IC will now focus on the enemy and the terrain to see what's going on. The 2SC would sort of take over the section. The 2SC will start to both direct Charlie and Delta to position them defensively and try to engage the enemy, get eyes on the enemy and so on. So the IC will focus outwards, what we are going to do as the section as a whole, and the 2IC will focus on micromanaging the section to make sure that everyone is where they need to be. That's sort of how it should be anyway. Sometimes the IC does too much. That's a syndrome that you see a lot. And what happens is then that the section is no longer very effective. But if you have that IC2IC teamwork, then it's great. You just as a 2IC, it's not easy to be good at 2IC, but yeah. And so now when the IC has determined what is engaging us and where they are and what we intend to do about it, he can then go ahead. Hello 10 Alpha, 11 Charlie, contact report, over. 10 Alpha, send contact report, over. And then you will just go ahead. And how do we give a contact report? I'll give you now the sort of headers for that again. Again, you want to begin with the time. And most of the time when it has the contact report, you say like, as of 5 minutes ago, you always reference to some time in the past. So as of 5 minutes ago, as of 2 minutes ago, that's where the contact initially started, right? So you begin with the time, and then you go into the enemy. I have one enemy section, 200 meters to our north in the building. So you want to give the location of the enemy, and the description of the enemy, and the intent of the enemy if you know it. Like if you can derive what the enemy is up to, what they want to do, then you should let the HQ know that as well. So as a subheaders to enemy, you want to give the enemy location, their description, and their intent. And after that, you want to give your own intent. So it's the same as with the Citra, basically. So I intend to continue engaging the enemy and flank and assault the enemy position. We could use another section to support us over, for example. So you end with own intent and any support required. So just quickly again, the contact report, time, enemy, and under enemy, location, description, intent, and then own intent, and under that, support required.
Yep.
And you can also give a sighting report, which is identical, but instead of saying contact report, you say sighting report. You guys should know what the difference between contact and sighting is. What is that, Kamara?
Sighting is, well, you're not being engaged, you're observing.
Yeah, anyone else? Bonus?
Or you're not in direct danger, put it that way.
Yeah, that's more accurate. So something that is an immediate threat to us or friendlies or is a contact, and the opposite then is a sighting. So sighting could even be friendly units. So set the contact report. You might also be asked to give a log stat, and log stat means location and status report, and that is a very small report. So if you give a log stat, you give your own location in grids, which you can always see. Because you have, even if you don't have the micro dagger, you still have the GPS, and it will tell you the 6-figure grid, at least on the top right there. If you have the micro dagger, you can give them the 10-figure grid, or you could even reference the Blue Force tracker. So log stat, you give your own location, your own current movement, if any, and your own intent. That is it. And finally, we have, or not finally actually, we have two more. We also have the casualty report. And the casualty report begins with the time again. So as of 5 minutes ago, then you move on to casualties. So you want to say the number and priority. And if you recall the priority, this is the tier system, right? So tier 1 is most severe, and then tier 4 is least severe, because that means we are not caring about them or they are dead. But anyway, you give a number and priority of the casualties. Then what's the location of the casualties and our own intent. So again, the time, the casualties, number and priority, where they are, the location, and what's my intent with the casualties. What do I want to do? Do I want to stay here and have the CTF treat them myself if they're lightly injured, or do I want to request medical support from 16 CSMR, or what? And then now finally we have the resupply request, and that's quite simple as well. So basically what you want to do, you want to give your own location, and if you're moving somewhere, you want to include that as well. We're moving this direction, we're moving to that location, and then what items are needed. That's it. So your own location and the items you need. And that normally goes to 10 Bravo, the platoon sergeant. In the same way that the 2IC manages the casualties and logistics of the section, the platoon commander manages the platoon casualties and logistics as well. And that's it. Okay, so what I think, first, any questions on that?
Nope.
Cool. So what we could do, I want you guys to, there's only one instructor here. So what I want you guys to do, you can pick any of these reports, except you're not allowed to pick logstat or resupply request, but you can pick any one of the others and make up a fictional message. and I want you to send it either to 10 Alpha or 10 Bravo, or whatever is correct for that report. So you just use the platoonet that we did the radio check for before. So yeah, I'll give you a couple of minutes to create a report, and then I'll just go through each one of you, and we'll see how you do. All right?
Yep.
Question: how do I get the micro dagger off my screen?
Press ESC.
Oh, you mean when it's large?
No, when it's small.
Control home.
That's a good question, actually. You can go ace self interact, left control plus left windows, go up to equipment, configure micro dagger, and close micro dagger.
Thank you.
Whoever is ready with your report, let me know.
Might as well.
All right, Nordic, you are 1-2 Delta. Let's hear it.
10 Alpha, this is 1 to Delta.
Sponsor Alpha, go ahead.
As of 2 minutes ago, we got nuked from orbit. I have 3 people left. And we additionally have 3 times MBT moving north, fast. My intent is to stay in cover and wait for further orders.
Alright, that was okay, but something I missed at the very start is that you let me know what kind of report you're giving me, because if you don't do it, I'm not, that sort of sets the tone of, okay, he's giving me this, right? Is he, is it a cache deal or whatever? So try it one more time and just make sure you say that you could go like, 1 Alpha, 1-2 Delta, Citrip over. Just to already there let him know what's up, instead of just saying the call signs. Talk to me. Tell him just one keyword. What do you want?
10 Alpha, this is 1 to Delta, Citrip report.
This is 1 Alpha, send Citrip over.
As of 2 minutes ago, we have been nuked from orbit. I have still 3 people left, and additional, we have 3 times MBT moving north. Our intent is to stay in cover and wait for further orders. Over.
Yeah, that was very good. This 1 Alpha, roger that. Wait out. So wait out is very useful. When you don't know what to say, you can just say wait out. Take a couple of breaths to breathe, figure out what's going on, what you're going to do about it, and then you can just call them back on the net again. But that was an excellent sitrep. It had all the elements that we wanted, and it was in the right order as well. Of course, I'm a bit disappointed that they were not able to handle the nuke themselves, but you can't have everything you want in life. All right, who's next? Anyone else ready?
I can go.
All right, Moniz, go.
10 Alpha, this is 1-2 Delta. Casualty report, over.
This is 1 Alpha, send casualty report, over.
As of 10 minutes ago, suffered 3 times T2 and 1 time T1. Casualty location 1410-1100. Our intent is to stay here and keep casualties stable. Over.
1 Alpha, roger that. I'll relay to 10 Bravo and get back to you. Out.
Ay, perkele.
You called it to the wrong, but otherwise, other than that, was very good.
I couldn't get a hold of 10 Bravo. So.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. To be fair, I mess those things up as well. Fucking numbers are sometimes confusing as fuck.
Report otherwise excellent. Nothing wrong. What you can do is if you have a long report, you can start using like break.
Yeah.
Just to sort of take a breather, because just blah 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 for a minute can be a lot of info. So that's okay. All right, who's next?
Break. 10 Bravo, I have casualty report. Over.
Who is this? Over.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, Sorry, do it again.
You gotta identify yourself, man.
10 Bravo, this is 13 Charlie. Casualty report, over.
10 Bravo, send casualty report over.
As of 3 minutes ago, I have 2 times tier 1 and 1 times tier 2 casualties. Location is 14211 11106. Intent is to treat on location and await as support. Over.
Roger that. Nothing further. Out. Okay. Yeah, it's good. Actually, whenever you want to start the radio communication as well on Platoonet or higher, you should always start with "Hello." This is. I didn't say that before, so that's okay.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying it now. That's a good thing to do. All right, Edgeberger, you're the last man standing.
Just real quick question, just so I can cover my bases. When he was saying casualty report the T1 and T2, what is that again?
So tier 1, haven't you done the phase 1?
I did, but my memory kind of sucks. I just a little different. I know. I'm sorry.
It's my failure as an instructor. I failed. I have failed.
It's not your fault. My memory sucks.
All right. So the tier 1 casualty is the most severe. So they might have had cardiac arrest. They're probably unconscious. They're definitely not combat effective. Tier 2 is also not combat effective, but it's not as severe. They can be conscious. Maybe they have a broken arm or something like that. Something that requires attention for sure. Tier 3 is not an immediate concern. Tier 3 means that they are combat effective and they don't need further treatment. But it's if we are convenient with it, then we can treat them. So nothing. But like if you get a bruise, that's that. You're still a tier 3 casualty. Tier 4 means that it's the lowest priority, but it can mean one of two things. If we are in the middle of an assault and one of the section member gets shot, he goes down. The section doesn't have time to care about that casualty, right? So what will happen is that the 2 IC who will just get on the radio, tell 10 Bravo, we have a casualty marked in the CTAB this location. He's tier 4, and they will just move on. So tier 4 means that he's the lowest priority. We don't have time to deal with them now, so we'll just ignore them, basically. Not ignore them, but the section itself will ignore them. And let the platoon sergeant know, and then platoon sergeant will handle it. Or it can mean that they are respawned at base. They're dead. Do you remember how you can see that? If they are respawned, a casualty.
Yes. If you can drag them or pick them up, they're fine.
That's not.
Oh, that's
true.
we
Yes,
just no. It's gonna be
today.
changed from today or the latest update.
Okay.
Like
That's not good.
literally today, I respawned at the very beginning to get away from that black and white thingy, and somebody picked up my body.
Okay.
Oh,
all right.
yeah.
All right. Well, that's pretty cool. I guess it's realistic. That's gonna be a new challenge. Not sure how to deal with that, but that's fine.
Yeah. So just so you know.
All right. Good to know. But yeah, so that's it. Do you want to give your report now?
I guess I might as well.
Yep.
1-1 Alpha. This is 1-2 Charlie. Sorry.
That's okay.
I'm nervous. I don't like being on the spot.
So no, that's fine. So what you can do, when you are new to that stuff, man, you're gonna mess it up. I think everyone does.
Yeah.
You might be very nervous as well. It's just natural, so there's no problem with that. But you can do, what you should have done, I guess, write down stuff. So that way you can just read off, or at least just write down keywords. But we don't have time for that now. Let's give it one more go.
Hello, 1-1 Alpha. This is 1-3 Charlie. Casualty report.
Over.
Over.
This is 1-1 Alpha, I think you said. All right, send casualty report over.
I have 2 times T1 and 1 times T2.
All right.
What's the next
So
thing?
you gave the casualties, but you didn't give the time.
Oh.
You didn't give your location. And you didn't give the intent.
Shit. Sorry.
That's okay. But yeah, we're gonna stop there because we are out of time. But yeah. basically, this here was a 1-hour attempt to try and help you guys be a bit better at what to do if the IC and 2IC goes down. I hope you learned something from it. Obviously, we don't train enough in this unit to really nail these things, but something is better than nothing, right? So
Definitely.
yeah. Any final questions?
No, but a little tip: if you're gonna do like the reports on the radio and you just need something to read off to make it easier, you can use if you have ChatGPT on another screen, you can use that. Just give ChatGPT like a number or whatever, and then he'll type it out for you real quick, and then you could just insert what you need to say.
Basically, you can start to deactivate your brain slowly. Vein
Yeah.
yourself off your own brain and let all thinking go to ChatGPT. That's good.
Exactly. Yeah.
The hell is ChatGPT?
Okay, never mind.
That's another lesson for another day.
Yes. But basically, it's AI, right? Open AI. Okay, so you guys, you need to do station 2 now, right?
Yes.
Alright, I'm gonna teleport us all over there and see what they are up to.
So one thing that I just remembered when we were talking about D4 and in the assault, and that we don't we say, okay, we lost that person, we can't take care of him. That reminded me of some mock exercises that when somebody got hit while entering a building, for example, there was a conga line going after he fell. The last guy in the line would basically try to kick him in the position that he's not gonna vomit, die by his own vomit. That's all the medical you get during an assault.
Whoa.
Is Freddy inside the building?
Yes. Let's go.
Oh, Nordic.
What?
I gotta log out. I have early morning.
Okay, fine.
Teleported right
Yeah.
Good job.
See you guys next week.
Bye.
Okay, see you.
Bye.
Alright, yeah, just wait here for Nicol is your instructor, so over here, chaps.
Let's step out for now.
Nicole, never heard of the guy. Hello there, sir or madam. We are here to get learned.
Yo, how you doing? Is this it?
Yes,
Yeah,
Monis had to go and Dan was basically kidnapped in the first 5 minutes.
Holy fuck! And Crosby
Yep,
obviously
you got
had
the
the
Three
late.
Stooges now.
Crosby obviously had the late blow.
Yeah, because he always has to put his hand in the wrong place, either in his girlfriend or in between fucking dogs. Fucking knob.
Okay then.
Meow.
That's why we can't have nice things.
I mean, I think the hand and the girlfriend's the fun one. The other one, not so much.
It depends on the girlfriend.
True.
Yeah, it depends if she's angry or not.
Oh God.
Right, so what you're showing us today, Nicole?
Well, basically, the way the other two sections have done it, right? So obviously, the main purpose of this station is RTR, contact calling, and breaking contact. The way the other two sections have done it is I've just kind of stepped back and let the ICs kind of take over, because each section obviously trying to get their own SOPs and how they want to run it within the section. Obviously I'll be a wee bit more involved in this one because obviously it's a mighty 1-3. But the way we've done it is obviously we've just sort of stood and had a talk about things, just kind of like gone over the 6-section battle drills. Just sort of reiterating their points for 20 minutes, and then we put sort of like a dummy position out to the front, and then we do sort of like a walkthrough, talk-through section attack, nice and slow, and then finishing off with a live section attack with actual enemies shooting back. If you want to do that.
Yeah. I think you're gonna have to partake in this one, given where there's
Oh, for
three
fuck's
people.
sake, man, I've done nothing all night, I can't be arsed. Fucking hell.
You
Edge
barely
burger.
Nicole, I'm already 3 drinks in, so you need to help.
Okay, right, no bother. Edge burger. Go into that crate there, get yourself a GPMG. You can be the machine gunner for this one. Get yourself bombed up with extra ammunition and grenades and all that sort of good stuff.
Yep.
Right. I'll switch my radio to 1-3.
Yep. Hey, by the way, get off the 1-4
check.
channel as well.
Yeah, good point. Heard.
Yep, heard.
Sweet. Right, okay, so again, we're just obviously we'll have a bit of chat about 6-section battle drills. So, Iceberger, this should be fresh in your mind since you've done this at the beginning of the week.
Yep.
What does the RTR stand for?
React. God damn it. I had the same issue with fucking T1 casualty and T2. Damn it.
God damn it. I'll give you the first one. Return fire.
Right, return fire. Shit.
Take. Cover.
Oh, right, take cover.
Is it react?
Nope. Return appropriate fire.
Right, okay.
So we get bumped by the enemy, we take contact with the enemy, so we return fire. So we fire 1 or 2 rounds in the likely direction that we've taken contact. Okay. We take cover. So that could be either moving forward or behind. Okay, so while you're patrolling, you're always looking out not only for the enemy positions, but you're looking for potential cover should you get contacted. Once you're in cover, you then return appropriate fire. Okay?
Yep.
Alright.
When locating the enemy, okay, what are we looking for?
We are looking for distance between us and them.
No, we're trying to. We've taken contact, so we've RTR'd, okay?
Right.
And we're trying to locate the enemy.
Hmm.
Okay, so what things are we looking out for?
Potential firing positions.
Yep.
Potential like flanking routes like towards us, but also where we could go.
Yep.
You know, just get situational awareness in general.
Yep. We're also looking for movement. So we're looking for enemy darting between cover, moving positions. We're looking for their tracer rounds. So we can then track back to try and find potential firing points. You're looking for dust to be kicked up for their shots. You're looking for smoke coming for their muzzles. You're looking for flashes for the muzzles. It's all these wee indicators to try and locate the enemy. Understand?
Yes.
Cool. Once we've located the enemy, what do you think we're going to do next?
Fire.
Pretty much, yeah, kill them.
What have we got to do before we fire?
Get into firing position, mate. You're asking some crazy questions.
Contact calls.
Aye, that's what I was gonna say next.
And this is one of the things I feel that we're lacking in the section.
That's true.
Right. Now I didn't get them the majority of the time because the majority of the time I don't see the enemy. Okay. It doesn't have to be Crosby or myself. It's whoever in the section sees the enemy and they give a quick contact call. It doesn't need to be big and elaborate. Okay. It can just be as simple as contact enemy east. Right.
At least,
That's
then
what it
we
needs
have a
to be.
general idea.
Because you're just going to get eyes on that general idea. Okay? Now, the guy's either going to shout seen or not seen. If they shout not seen, then you could break it down a bit further. Okay? Obviously, once we've located the enemy, right, we're then going to suppress them. Right? And that means obviously just getting a heavier rate of fire down on the enemy. Okay? Now in the section, this is where I would take over, and I'd control the rate of fire, or the 2IC, whoever that may be at the time. Okay? And then Crosby would be doing his combat estimate, right? He'll be trying to get an idea of what's happening, where the enemy is, and a quick look at the ground, get a bit of ground appreciation, and he's either going to decide we're either going to go left flanking, we're going to go right flanking, we'll break contact, okay? He'll decide what we're going to do, and then he'll come over the net and say, right, we're going to go right flanking. More often than not, Delta will provide cover and fire, and Charlie will then go and take that enemy position. Okay?
Yep.
Which will take us on to the next section, battle drill, which will be the attack. Okay? Break down into 2 points, the approach and the assault. So the approach is obviously going to be that right flanking manoeuvre that was discussed. Okay? And then Charlie will be moving into a position ready to assault that position, and Delta will be laying down cover and fire. Okay? So obviously that would be you, obviously we're having the GPMG, because obviously you've got the biggest gun. And then there'll be a point where Crosby and whoever he deems to go forward with him, he might take the full section, he might leave half the section, fire team, he might take the full Charlie fire team to take that position, or he might just take one other guy, more often than not the point man. And then as well as Delta giving cover and fire in that position, Charlie will be giving cover and fire as well. And then there'll be a call, whether that be over the net, or you see the frag going out, and then that'll be the sign to switch fire. Because the last thing we want is a blue on blue when Charlie going to clear that position, and you end up shooting him with that GPMG, because obviously we don't want that, even though you've got
No.
previous.
I don't know what it's talking about. Crosby was fine. Nothing happened.
Then obviously once the enemy position has been taken, you throw the grenades, fix the bayonets, do all the good biz, then move past the location, and we then set up the reorg. Why don't we set up the reorg on the enemy position that we've just cleared?
IDF.
Exactly. The enemy could have that location prefixed, so should he be overrun, they could call an emergency IDF on that location and wipe us all out with one go. That's why we'll never set up an ARD on that position. We'll either move forward or off to a flank 30 to 50 metres away and set up an ARD. Is all this coming back to you from Monday and Tuesday?
Yes.
Good stuff. You like to add any points?
I'm looking at the notes myself, and yeah, you're going through all of these. Good.
Good stuff. Nordic, anything you want to add, buddy?
No, not really. We already discussed some of the points, like not staying on the a point we attacked from the enemies in the other station. So
cool. Right, I'll put an enemy position out there, just a wee bunker. It'll be pretty obvious when we go up to it, but like I said, this first one will just be like a walkthrough, talk through. It's mainly just for Edgeburger, because obviously he's completely new to all this, so we'll just walk through, talk through what we're doing.
Yes.
And then once we're happy with that, we'll go up against some live enemy, and then have a bit of fun for the rest of the night. Are you happy with breaking contact, Edgeburger?
Sure.
If you're not, just say. I mean, that's the whole purpose of the night, is to go over all this stuff.
I mean, I'll learn as much as I need to, so do whatever needs to be done.
Right, so when we're breaking contact, right, so obviously that'll come to a point where we see ourselves into a firefight that we're unlikely going to win. Okay, the way the British Army like to work it is a 3-to-1 rule. Okay, so we always like to have the bigger numbers. So if we are coming across a 2-man position, then there'll be a section that will take them out. Okay. If we come across an enemy section, it'll be a platoon attack, because there's 3 sections to a platoon. Okay. If we come across an enemy platoon, it will be a company attack. Because there's 3 platoons to a company.
Right.
If we were to come across an enemy company, it would be a battalion attack. If we came across a battalion, it would be a brigade. You get the point I'm making, though. We're always
keep
three.
going.
We're always
If
three
Yeah,
halves.
I get it.
if the enemy is a
Once we
single
regroup,
tank,
fight
you take
smaller
3
groups,
tanks to
we
kill
win.
it.
If it's a whole enemy armoured brigade, you send Nordic with a Charlie G. Right, so basically that's the point I'm trying to make, right? So it's only 4 wheels and out, okay? So if we were to go out and we were to come up across an enemy section, realistically, that's a fight we don't want to take on because we're outnumbered. Okay, so I mean we're not going to do it tonight. I'm telling you right now, we're going to be outnumbered. But we're 1-3, and that's how we like to roll. But doctrines.
So we just like kind of like a roll balls deep and don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yep. But for the sake of the break contact drill, okay. When you see yourself in a firefight that you know you're outnumbered, okay. The smart thing we do to break contact, and there's a number of ways we can do that, okay. We can either pop smoke to the front and create a screening between us and the enemy.
Yep,
and we
I
can
remember
then,
that from the talk from Monday.
Yep, and we can bound out of contact. Okay. We
Right.
can call in close air support to bomb the enemy position to allow us again that opportunity to retreat. Or if you remember on Tuesday night, we could peel either left or right until we get into cover, where the first man into the cover will give that break point call, and then that's us breaking contact because we're into concealment, and then we can then bug out for the location there. With the break contact drills?
Yep.
Sweet. Right, so I'll just, if you just want to hang fire, get yourself sorted, I'll put a wee position out there, and then we'll do a walkthrough, talk through.
Yeah. Did you get ammo, actually?
Yes.
Yeah, good.
That was
What's
not
going on?
me.
That was me.
What was that? Did you have a shotgun on? Oh, no, that was a grenade. Okay, no.
I just threw it far and high. I by mistake almost hit the exactly where there's an enemy position, so.
My site got bugged out again.
What do you mean?
It means that it's all black around the ACOG. Like I don't have any peripheral vision.
Oh, same here. I thought that's one of the settings in RHS.
No, because it was working earlier like normally.
Do you want to stay IC, or do you want me to take the IC?
You can take IC.
You fucking lazy prick.
Just pass on the
You're too IC then.
responsibility.
Kamara,
Point man.
I was the IC for so long, I took the freaking, whatever the name of the boat of, or
Yeah. Alright,
whatever the training was, and it took 2 years, so yeah.
Section, right, so we'll just head northwest, right, extended line, okay, at the walk, okay, let's go, Charlie left, Bella right. On my command, contact front, that'll initiate the contact, right, don't need to fire the rounds, you're right, Nordic.
Yeah?
You're right, Bella right.
I'm always right. I'm Charlie.
Contact front. Section, contact, northwest, enemy bunker, rapid fire. Okay, so at this point obviously we've armed the yard, okay, returned fire, we've took cover and we're returning appropriate fire. I'm doing
Nordic, this is where you would take over the fire control of the section while I do my ground appreciation. Okay, I've decided I'm going to go a left flanking. So section, Charlie's going to do a left flanking, Delta you provide cover and fire. Charlie be ready to move. Move.
Ashbrook, you're Charlie this time.
What am I doing now?
Your Charlie should be going with Nicole.
If I go with them.
Maybe not. I don't know. I'm lost.
I don't think we covered that.
Yeah, just suppressing fire. Mag.
Delta switch fire right.
Switch fire right.
Mag.
Yeah.
Delta ceasefire closing on me through the proven route.
Okay, so proven route, that means we go around. So we go to the flank location. How are you wounded right now?
I don't know.
Oh, they did throw a grenade, so...
Oh, okay, I must have been in the radius and got hit.
Yeah, flak is a bitch.
Yep.
One's injured.
Yeah, I'll do a full recall in a second. Cover off East Nordic. Edgeburger, you cover off South.
Sorry, Mag.
It's at this point that the 2IC will then commit an AMCAS while I'm on the net up to higher, giving them a full contact report of exactly what we've done. Okay, and then they'll look for further orders whether we're going to continue on tasking, stay here, retreat. Okay, it'll just be depending on what the bigger battle picture is. Nugan, are you happy with... Nugan, sorry, shut up, Robert. Edgeburg, are you happy with what we went through there?
Yep, I'm good.
Sweet.
Need a mech though.
Yeah, I'll use a full vehicle. So hopefully you've now got a better understanding, obviously, for the 6 section battle drills that we've done on Monday and Tuesday. You're seeing it a wee bit more in play.
Yep.
For that section attack there. Nordic Command, if you just like closing it out. I mean, there's so much more that we could add to this. I mean, we can go a lot more in depth. Like, obviously, for the ARD, as I was saying to Kamara there, we wouldn't just set up an ARD in the middle of the open here. You know, we would either push through to the tree line behind you, or we would have went back into the bushes over there for a bit of concealment, because there could be an enemy observer out there, like a mortar fire controller, with eyes on us, and getting ready to start sending mortar rounds our way. So obviously, we want to get off this position as quick as possible, and get into some form of cover, or out of sight of the enemy. Okay.
Happy days.
Is there anything else you want to go through? Are you happy with contact calling still from Tuesday, Monday?
I still need a little refresher on that one because I'm still kind of new to the whole thing.
Yep. So you remember AIL, alert, contact, sighting.
Right.
Or sorry, alert, locate, explain. Sorry.
Yes.
So alert, you would shout section, contact. So you've alerted the section that there's a contact there. So that's the first thing you do. You don't need to say section contact because obviously it'll be just us usually anyway. So just shout contact, and obviously everyone in 1-3 knows that you're talking to us. So it'll be contact, and then obviously a location. So you can use your HUD at the bottom of your screen, so you can see whether the contact's north, east, southwest, wherever.
Right.
And then explain where it is or what it is. So it'd be contact, northeast, medium, enemy bunker 2 times enemy. And then just a brief description like that.
Yeah. Keep it short, sweet, to the point.
Yeah, definitely. And if I'm honest, and I think if we're all honest here, that's something that doesn't happen enough in 1-3.
No.
Again, because it's a game, everyone just obviously wants to get the kills. Everyone wants the trigger time. And I think half the time is people get a bit nervous on what to say, so they just clamp up. I know at times I do. I've got years of experience doing this. I know what I want to say in my head, but when it actually comes out to saying it, I'm like, so,
You go back to Scottish.
Yeah.
I'm very well, mate.
I want to say contact northeast, but I'm like, Donald's where's your trousers? So.
I don't have Scottish subtitles on. What did he say?
All you need to know is I'm shouting something about freedom.
Yeah, but yeah, you still gotta do them. I mean, but it's easy to just don't like think too much about them. As long as you say something, that's always better than nothing. And as Nicole said earlier, you can elaborate once you've gotten the first sort of contact report out. Piece of cake.
Yeah, just saying on the radio, there's 1-2 Charlie, we are fucked. Over.
I don't think
Sometimes enough.
say exactly that, but okay.
No, in some time, sometimes you don't even have time to say anything more. Just the fact that the 1-0 Alpha knows that the assault broke or there's a mass cast, that's enough for him to at least try to save the situation.
Yeah.
You if you don't know what to say, be short on words and just at least get the minimum of about who you are and where you are. But then use whatever words you have. It worked for me for 2 years, so it's gonna work for you as a private.
And even if you do get the contact call wrong or whatever, then don't worry about making a mistake in front of the guys, right? No one is ever going to make fun of you for getting a contact call wrong or whatever. We all do it, because one thing about this game is you'll get the chaos of war that will happen because the rooms will start coming in, and you'll have people talking to you, and you'll be like, "What the fuck's going on?" And you do get a bit overwhelmed.
Yeah.
It's just remember, just keep it sweet. Just contact rough direction and roughly what you're seeing. It might be a full section there, but you only see one guy.
Yeah. Oh, they're on the fucking radio now.
Yeah. Sighting report.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't even hear that.
No, they're on the one.
So what we'll do is we'll go back to the tower. We'll replay. I'll set a couple of an enemy section, and then we'll get into a firefight.
Yep.
Okay.
I'll have to go get some more links.
Yeah, bomb yourself up. Take as much as you want. I'll need challenge G for you though, Nordic, sorry.
Don't tell me to take as much as I want. I might take the whole damn thing.
I've got HEs. Well, you can take everything. Now we're like the last section in this station.
Apparently there's new belts for the GPMG and they're massive. So.
Tell me there's an optic, please.
Nope.
The fuck?
The only time you get an optic for that gun is when it's on a tripod.
Damn it. sound was. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Nordic, how do you aim this thing?
What? Well, you have
Looks
the
like
other
we put
option.
the iron sight on that thing.
Do you just aim it like a sort of hip
Well,
fire?
do you see the ladder?
Yeah.
So you can go up and down, page up, page down to distance, right?
But when I aim down the side, I'm just looking through my LDS.
Even in the if you have the HE grenade setup.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you have in the optional add-ons the one that's like JSRS sound mod?
Yeah, I think so.
So there is an issue currently with that mod, and it creates an issue with this grenade launcher.
Now
So
I hear
you
Fred.
can make it work. Usually it's like a ladder that you can easily aim. It's so.
Yeah. Yeah, I know how the ladder works. I was just thinking, like.
No, it's broken.
Wi-Fi.
It's broken
Yeah, it's
because of that mod. There's like something other than a mod sound support.
Yeah, wait, can I take the? Does it work if I don't have the sight on?
That's an excellent question. I don't know.
Hey, section.
Yes.
We are going to move northwest. That location.
Uh-huh.
We're just going to take a nice, gentle stroll.
Uh-huh.
Okay. We may or may not. We will get contacted. Okay.
Okay.
I forgot my UG board.
You'll be fine tonight. So, same again. Order march, Kamara, myself, Nordic, and then H-Burger.
Yes, Daddy.
Yep.
Alright. I never said move. Actions on contact. Obviously, we're going to RTR. We're going to form a baseline in the direction of the enemy threat. Alright. And then we'll get suppressive fire gun down, and then I'll make a plan on what we're going to go and do.
Roger.
More than likely, I'll say, Delta, you take over, and yeah, just leave it all in Nordic.
Yep.
What was that about me?
I said, when we come into contact, I'm just going to say Delta, take over,
Ah,
and
okay.
just leave it all to you.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah, and these are live targets now.
No, they're absolutely heavy armoured. Juggernauts with miniguns.
Roger.
Oh fuck, not the COD Juggernauts, no.
Nah. Nice and easy extremists. They've got sandals and turbans on.
Alright.
Oh, okay.
Right, section on the move.
Section movement.
Get the snake back. They're behind me.
I'm stuck.
Contact west, 100 meters, enemy infantry in the wood line. 10 Alpha, 13 Charlie, contact, way out.
Magazine.
Nordic, you go to section.
Here's section, face west. Edge barracks suppressing fire towards the enemy.
Right section, listen in. Delta, you're going to be behind covering fire. Kamara, me, you're going to do a left flanking through the trees. Roger. On my move, Delta lay down deliberate fire, correction, rapid fire. Okay.
Stand by.
Man down, man down. Alright. Yeah, I'm immobile,
Okay, stay here. Nicole, I'm gonna go with you. What else gonna stay? Yeah, he's
Tomorrow
in
you go Delta.
Right, cover me then, I'm going to give him a full heal.
Roger, yeah.
Mag.
Let's go.
Bella, where's that suppressor fire? We're watch and shoot. Alright, continue flying.
Nordic, if you want to bound up, I'll cover.
Okay. I'll cover. Grenade out.
Magazine.
Mag.
Grenade out.
Move in. Coming through.
Moving.
Hey, Charlie, can I get a suit rep?
Set.
Yeah, we're just rounding up onto the enemy position. Keep that suppressor fire going. Roger.
Set. Set.
Yeah, Delta switch fire right.
Copy.
Once our alpha's down, I mean, Charlie. Oh, fuck. I see.
Roger.
Mag.
Back in, back in.
Back in.
Now I'd be on the radio and call it in. I know that you want us to come up there.
No, keep suppressing fire.
Roger.
Are you good now?
You guys on?
Oh, I killed both of them.
10 Bravo, this is 13 Delta, casualty report over, yada yada yada.
Yes,
Delta,
exactly.
watch and shoot, watch and shoot.
They will just push through it.
Yeah, that's clear. Clear down all the enemies in the location.
Delta, closing on my location, improving route.
Mag and repacking.
Delta en route.
Hello, 10 Alpha, this is 13 Charlie, contact report over.
Send over.
13 Charlie, as of 5 minutes ago, received contact from the west. Enemy section, we've engaged and destroyed. Waiting for their orders, over.
Nothing further. Out.
Excellent. I feel I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
Just took you so many years. No, it just fucking takes ages. I'm still shit at it, and I was more shit at it before, so I'm better than I was.
Where the hell are you hiding, Charlie?
Well, of course, we're in the trees.
Yeah, just keep heading. Just keep heading west, in the trees.
Eyes.
Follow that gunfire. That's the thing, though, right? Like, I've done this for like 10 years, and then I've been out the army for like 12 years. So, like, see when it comes to doing it in this again, there's skill fade, but I feel like there's pressure that I should know it all because I've done it for real. And then I just get too much in my head.
Yeah.
What's that? So it's at this point, obviously, we'll form the RD. So we've moved past enemy location.
Sorry, checking my inventory.
I'm not checking my inventory. I'm just repacking mags.
Do that?
Yeah. So in self AC interact, and you should have the repack magazines option, and then you select which magazines repack.
Yep. So the enemy position was obviously in a tree line. So I don't feel the need, obviously, to move off the location too much, because obviously we're still in that concealment. So at this point, obviously, we would be in an ARD. I would hand the section over a Nordic to do an AMCAS, while I send a contact report up to 10 Alpha. Once Nordic then gets back to me, either myself or Nordic will then get in contact with 10 Bravo, and then give them the AMCAS. And then we'd either wait further orders, or we'll carry on with our original objective. Should we be on position for more than 15 minutes, we would dig in. Now, obviously, that mean like digging trenches or fire positions, because there might be an enemy counter attack. So obviously, we have to be in a defensive position to take that on. When a phase 2 night comes up, Hitchburger, when it does, it very seldom happens. We go into defences, sort of like digging trenches, different types of trenches, positions to obviously give you the best sort of cover and stuff like that. So keep an eye out for when that goes out.
Okay.
Any points for use?
Nah.
No. Golden.
Only point I have to go. So thanks. Go.
Cool. I just wish obviously there was maybe 1-3 here. So obviously we could start, so you get these sort of finer points down. I want to try and get the section to a point where like everybody knows their roles and what to do. Like I've noticed that certainly like with you, Nordic and Kamara, like when we come to clearing a building, we just seem to know what to do and we just work in pairs.
Yeah, but that's because we worked as pairs for the last 2 years. It's not something that we
I know, but
born with it.
I want to try and get that obviously mostly much done because I think Dunn's gone over to JTAC in the near future. But like for the likes of Edgeburger and that, it'd be good to obviously to have everybody in that section. So no matter who we're with. So if Edgeburger, if you're rolling with Nordic one night, it's just like me and Nordic. Just everyone can just slot into that role. And it's just a shame there's only 4 of us here tonight. Obviously things can't be helped, but it'd be good if there was more guys here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I like the fact that obviously from now on, obviously they're going to do a back to basic night on HR. So every HR1's going to be a back to basics. But I mean, I would be up for certainly getting like a section training night, middle of the week or whatever, just to go over stuff.
That would be nice, kind of refresh. God knows I'm gonna need it.
Channel switched.